guys are so fucking loud! Hello and welcome to That LI Garage. This is the third episode. I don't fucking know. You guys, this is... Hello and welcome back to That LI Garage. Today in this episode, we're going to use this frame machine and we're going to start pulling on the frame and body of this Cayman. So if you've been following up till now, this is going to be the next episode. If you're new to this channel, please subscribe, hit the like button, make a comment, and let's get to work. Alright, so let me have a quick explanation of how this works. This whole area needs to be pulled out. How do you pull it out? You take this car and you put it on, you could see on my last episode how I set this up onto the frame machine. You find these pinch welds right there. There's 4 of them on the car, and then you clamp them down and then put them onto this bracket that holds it onto the frame machine. So now the car does not go anywhere. It's held not by the wheels but by the frame itself. It's not going anywhere. And then we're going to use this, which has a ram over here that you push the pedal, and you can see the ram going up, and then you could release it. So it pulls on this chain over here. So you have to, this has different attachments to it, and you clamp it down and hook it up, and there's different ways to pull. You do your first pull and see where it goes from there. So I'm gonna wait for Luke. He's gonna help me set it up so we could do our first pull, and we're gonna go from there. Look, we're ready for the first pull. Luke. Come on, we're gonna make our own YouTube videos. Let's go.
I'm watching a practical joker.
Let's go. Let's practical fix this car.
No, come on, let me go.
Let's go. Alright, so here we go. The first pull. We're using the bumper beam, the crash bumper beam, because if it bends out of place and gets destroyed, it's already destroyed, so who cares? So we're just using that metal as a sacrificial metal. So when pulling a frame, if it's a steel frame, you need to pull it, and sometimes it bounces back just a little bit, and then so you pull it a little bit extra and it stays to that position. But now here, this is an aluminum frame, so it's a lot different. It's a lot different in many different ways. When you pull it, you have to over pull it. You have to pull it further than it needs to go, because it's gonna bounce back. And also sometimes if you pull it, because you have to over pull it, the metal is a lot thinner, so it tears. And sometimes I put on the frame machine and pull the frame, and once it's in a position, I would bang around it just to strain some other parts, just so when I release the pressure from the frame machine, it will hold its position. And then after that, sometimes I have to use the porter pot. This is like a ram that has different attachments. Like you see, I put it inside the trunk, and just to really like push different sections out of it. Right here, we're just trying to straighten as much as possible, and so we get it back to the shape it should be in. All right, so this is the plan. We're trying to get rid of this kink right here. So in order to do this, we're gonna take this panel out. You can see I'm starting to drill out the rivets. We're gonna take this panel out as well. Once they're out, we could flatten them out and put them to correct size or angles correctly, no problem. And then we can work on this. We can start pulling this out, and we're probably gonna cut this over here, cut this piece over here, so we can straighten it off the bench. Once that's done, you'll see that this is gonna be the only plate. With this plate alone, without the bar on the inside, we'll be able to make it straight. So right now I'm just gonna take this panel off and this one off. Okay, so some plans changed. Luke gave me a good idea. He said, leave this piece on. He says, remove this, cut it over here. This way on the bench, we can use a hammer and flatten it out, right? Once this is fully out, you can see the whole channel on the inside. Then we could start fixing this kink. So that's a really good idea by Luke. I'm gonna go ahead and cut this right here. So we ended up cutting this piece out, like Luke said, right? And then later on, he'll be able to straighten this out on a flat surface. But the kink is right here. That's where the support was. So the support did what it's supposed to do. It stopped it from, so all the bending happened right before the support, not after, if you noticed. So this we're gonna have to bring back. This should be completely straight over here. This just gotta be shifted over. When this shifts over, it's gonna shift everything over from the other side. So now I'm just gonna wait for Luke to tell me where to pull this from. I'm gonna just vacuum everything up, clean, and get ready for him. All right, over here, if you notice, we're pulling the top of the rail down, forward, I mean, and then Luke said to put a porta pot right underneath this kink over here. This way, once I pull it, I can start hitting it down, and I'm going to heat it up to soften the metal a little bit. All right, Cayman update. First, I want to apologize to you guys, if the angle of the videos aren't perfect. Some parts maybe I skip or anything. It's really hard to focus on videotaping and, you know, pulling a frame at the same time. So hopefully I did a good job about it, but it could get better. So let me give you the updates. So last night, Luke was telling me it's a lot easier to flatten out all these parts, which I kind of agree. So I cut this one out, and we have two pieces here we have to really straighten. It's easy to straighten on a flat surface with a hammer. So we're gonna work on that. The next thing is we started taking some measurements, and this side is 3/4 higher than that side. So we rigged this over here with a pulley on the machine, and we're gonna basically pull the frame down. We're gonna try to match it, and then I have to wait for the top cover, the piece over here of the frame. I ordered a new one. We're gonna put that in, and we're gonna use that to just set everything where it is, because it's pretty close to where it's supposed to be. The distance from here is the same distance from here. We took some measurements. It's pretty close. And also, once the frame is all dollied up and straightened out, then we can weld it back in place in the perfect location, so we don't have to fight with it like I was doing yesterday. So right now we're gonna pull this down, we're gonna make it straight. And oh, he also said we might even take this piece out because it has a little crack in here and there's some bends in here. Once it's out, we could really take our time and flatten it and smoothen it out. And that's it. So let's get back to work. All right, so now I'm removing the rest of the upper structure for the trunk to make room for the new one that we have. And with the new one, we're gonna take our measurements and see where everything else goes, just to confirm our pulls. And this upper structure part is not readily available, I'll say. You can't really buy them from the dealers in the United States. It's extremely difficult to get these, so you gotta jump through a lot of hoops to get it. So I got it for this one, and that's it. So for the update over here, I put all the wires back in, Luke painted, seam sealed, and looks all good. Ready to be put together and ready to be painted. We're gonna test fit the hood and the fenders right now, just make sure everything lines up before everything gets painted. Everything looks good. I just have, this is one wire connector that I need to find. I took a picture of it from the other side so I know what's the part number. Inside the trunk, looks good. All the wiring is in place. Looks like exactly what it's supposed to look like. Actually, I could also put in this. We're gonna clean up some of the, I'll spray up some of the dirt. Spray it out of here. But all in all, looks like it's good. This I leave, this is the hood latch. I leave it loose so we can move the hood. Same thing with the hinges. Just leave them a little bit loose so I can move it, put it in the position, in the correct position, and that's it. It's paint day! They're painting the Cayman. I'm gonna go and shoot there real quick so I can put the camera in the booth and hopefully we get some good footage. And that's it for now. So this is exciting. This is the end of this episode. We finished the paint. We just got it to my shop. It's painted and we're going to start assembling the whole car back and putting all the pieces back together. And that's it. So I'll see you in the next episode. Till then, if you ain't got haters, you ain't popping.